Hey everybody, this is Charlie Vázquez in Brooklyn, New York City for the Latino Rebels. I'm here to quickly tell you about the Librotraficante project, why it means, or why it should mean something to you, what you can do to help. Yesterday here in New York City, we had the pleasure of hosting the Librotraficante organizers from Houston, Texas, the Professor Tony Diaz, radio producer and literary activist Liana Lopez, and their technician Brian Pagras. They were joined by the Chicano writer Sergio Troncoso, and also our very own NYC's, New York and New Jersey's rather, Rich Villar from the Accentos Foundation convened to have a discussion regarding these controversial measures that are starting to be passed, beginning in Arizona. Books of Latino interest are being banned in schools. They're being taken away from children. And if this trend continues, other people will be affected by it in their own crazy way. There are things that we can do. I'm here to tell you what those are briefly. First of all, you can go to librotraficante.com or Google Librotraficante or Tony Diaz. The info will come up. You can help donate to their PayPal account. $1, $5, $20, $50, whatever. Every little bit helps, okay? This is a mosaic type effort, and each little piece is just as precious as the next. There's an accompanying movie that's been, I believe, completed called Precious Knowledge, a documentary rather. We will include the link on the Latino Rebels site for you to access so that you can see firsthand what is happening in the public schools from the students' mouths, from their professors' mouths, from the politicians' mouths, to get an idea of how disgusting this is and how potentially dangerous and how un-American it is. These people have an ancestral right to access this literature, and also a constitutional right to access this literature under the First Amendment. So let's not wait until this gets out of hand and it affects us. So I'm going to propose to you, those of you who know me know that I love books. I live for books. I love producing books. I love reading books. I just love books. They've been my salvation for many a reason, and I couldn't imagine anyone taking that right away from me. So here's the Latino Rebels rather proposed Nuyorican book ban, and this is going to seem very silly, and I'm doing this for a reason. So we're just going to pretend that you have kids who are in the public school system or taking Latino ethnic studies courses in colleges, whatever the case may be. We're going to prohibit these books, and this is to show you the Chicano equivalent that is starting to happen and why we need to come and help them with this. This is frightening, okay? So we'll start with, of course, Miguel Piñero's Outlaw, the collected works of Miguel Piñero. Sorry, you can't read that. That's gonna influence you to overthrow the government, and we're not having it. So, Latino Manifesto, a wonderful book by Christopher Rodriguez, a Puerto Rican writer. You cannot have this. You cannot know the Latino history of the United States. Latin Moon in Manhattan, Jaime Manrique, very groundbreaking Colombian writer who's lived in New York for a long time, someone who I know. His books would probably be banned if something similar were to happen. Jose Quiroga, Tropics of Desire, okay? For those of you who know the book, know where I'm coming from. Achi Ovejas, Cuban-American writer, Ruins, phenomenal book. I believe it was a prize winner. No, you can't read that because you are going to, it's going to breed resentment in you, and you're going to try to overthrow the government. It's now illegal, we're sorry. Queer Latino Testimonio, Keith Haring, and Juanito Extravaganza, written by the wonderful Professor Arnaldo Cruz Malave, a Puerto Rican writer living here in New York. An amazing account of the 1980s disco scene, you know, downtown scene where these white artists were meeting Puerto Rican dancers and street kids, and all of the crazy art that produced during such a crucial era here in New York. You can't read that, sorry. Ernesto Che Guevara, The Motorcycle Diaries, no explanation needed. Can't get your little paws on that one either. Puerto Rico, The Trials of the World's Oldest Colony, a collection of essays by Jose Drias Monge. Sorry, can't read it. It's now illegal. is being burned in your backyard. The very excellent Nuyoricans by Larry LaFountain Stokes, a very particular history of the Puerto Rican diaspora, one that had never been published in book form. Sorry, you can't read that one either. How about The Whole Island, 6 Decades of Cuban Poetry? Sorry, can't read that. We're going to throw in City of Night by John Recchi. Those of you who know it know where I'm coming from. Let's get general here, okay? How about the Norton Anthology of Latino Literature? Banned, illegal, no, can't read it, sorry, suck up. Bartolomé de las Casas, A Short Account of the Destruction of the Indies. No explanation needed there. You cannot read that, sorry, you cannot know the truth about your history. We're very sorry. We provide you with history books, and that's the only history you need to know. A collection of 3 plays by the wonderful Miguel Piñero. Again, that was included in the first book. Sorry about that. Castro in Cuba, From the Revolution to the Present. And Angelo Trento, excellent book on Cuban history. You don't need to know about that. Why would you want to read about that? Hispanic Caribbean Literature of Migration by the wonderful Vanessa Perez Rosario over at Brooklyn College, heads the Latino Studies department, spends a lot of time researching Caribbean histories, etc. Has a book coming out on Julia de Burgos. She is now a banned author. You cannot read her work. Juan Gonzalez, Harvest of Empire, fantastic book. If you haven't read it, check it out. Let's throw in Conquistadora, Esmeralda Santiago, Julia Alvarez, How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents. You don't need to read that. That's a Dominican writer. Why would you need to read Dominican fiction? How about Creole Religions of the Caribbean, huh? Sorry, it's now banned. And we'll finish it with 2 silly but crucial volumes. We're going to throw in The Penguin History of Latin America. Sorry, Latin American history doesn't exist. Only American history exists. And we're going to finish off with Homer's The Odyssey. Why am I putting in Homer's The Odyssey? Because we're going to shift now to an Anglo consciousness. Shakespeare has also been included in this book ban. I'm Charlie Vázquez for Latino Rebels. Thanks for listening.